Giving more details about their investigation into the deaths of the actor Gene Hackman and his wife Betsy Arakawa.
Have you ever wondered what happens when the carefully crafted facade of Hollywood glamour shatters to reveal a mystery so deep it challenges everything you believe? In the quiet outskirts of Santa Fe, where time itself seemed to have come to a standstill, the shocking discovery of actor Gene Hackman and his wife Betsy Arakawa's bodies set off an investigation that would leave even the most skeptical reeling. It began with an unsettling calm, an open door, untouched mail scattered as if time had forgotten to move on, and an atmosphere that whispered of secrets left behind. The silence that blanketed the home was as thick as the questions that now filled every corner of the investigation. When the police first arrived, they encountered a scene that defied all expectation. There, in a house that once bustled with the quiet routines of everyday life, every detail screamed of an eerie abandonment. Gene Hackman's body was discovered in a position that didn't quite match the picture of a man succumbing to heart disease. His posture and the slight misplacement of personal items hinted at a struggle against a fate that was, in many ways, preordained. Meanwhile, Betsy Arakawa's body, found in another room, was surrounded by signs that defied a simple narrative of natural decline. Pills scattered without reason, a counter devoid of the normal clutter that one might expect in the midst of a crisis. Each element of the scene, the door left ajar, the mail that had been untouched for weeks, was a silent testimony to a deeper, more sinister truth that lurked beneath the surface. And that's when suspicion turned toward an unexpected source: Hackman's own daughter, Leslie Anne Hackman. Leslie Ann, known for her reserved lifestyle away from the public eye, suddenly found herself at the center of a massive controversy. Initially, she claimed she regularly spoke to her father, but phone records shattered her story. Investigators quickly realized her statements didn't match reality. The timelines she gave were off. Conversations she described never existed. Even more troubling, Leslie Ann had quietly begun maneuvering through her father's financial estate weeks before anyone publicly knew he was dead. Bank statements revealed transactions shifting large sums offshore. Legal documents were altered. Key details changed about Gene Hackman's estate. Everything pointed to careful planning, not coincidence. Digging deeper into Leslie Ann's background raised even more red flags. Friends and acquaintances described her as distant, fiercely private, and increasingly concerned about financial security. Authorities discovered she had previously attempted to gain control over certain family assets, leading to strained relationships and arguments behind closed doors. It became evident that the family dynamics were far from ideal. But that wasn't the whole story. As investigators began to piece together the timeline, they encountered a series of unsettling clues that raised more questions than answers. Among these was a curious anomaly. The pacemaker implanted in Gene Hackman had recorded one last, inexplicable movement, a final pulse that seemed to mark a definitive end to his routine existence. This subtle piece of digital evidence, buried among mundane medical data, hinted at an abrupt cessation of life far more mysterious than a simple heart attack. The timing of the pacemaker's last beat, juxtaposed with the bizarre disarray found at the scene, compelled the authorities to look deeper into every minor detail, no matter how insignificant it might have seemed at first glance. The investigation then took an even more unexpected turn when digital footprints began to emerge from the background. A trail left not in physical form, but in streams of data captured by surveillance cameras, phone records, and GPS tracking systems. Security footage from a nearby property revealed fleeting images of figures moving suspiciously close to the house in the days leading up to the discovery. These digital signals, which bounced unpredictably between towers, painted a picture of a covert observer, someone who appeared to be monitoring the household long before the tragedy was uncovered. As investigators cross-referenced phone logs and financial transactions, the digital trail grew ever more compelling, hinting at an external force that had been silently orchestrating events behind the scenes. Yet the mystery did not stop at the digital realm. In a twist that would leave anyone questioning the motives behind the tragedy, evidence of financial intrigue began to surface. Altered estate documents, suspicious bank transfers, and financial records that didn't add up pointed to a deliberate manipulation of Gene Hackman's wealth. It appeared that even before his body was officially identified, someone had tampered with legal papers, reshuffling documents, altering crucial details, and laying the groundwork for a potential takeover of his considerable fortune. The financial transactions were meticulous and quiet, almost as if they were designed to slip past the usual scrutiny. These discrepancies ignited a fierce debate among investigators. Were these changes a desperate bid to salvage a dying legacy, or did they signal the machinations of someone with far more nefarious plans? As the layers of suspicion deepened, attention inevitably turned to the one person who had long been a peripheral figure. A person whose every move would soon be scrutinized under a microscope. Anne Hackman's daughter, Leslie Ann. At first, her connection to the case was dismissed as the natural concern of a grieving family member. However, as investigators delved into her background, inconsistencies began to emerge. Her recollections of recent conversations with her father, the timeline of her last interactions, and even her bank records all seemed to conflict with the unfolding narrative of the tragedy. Detailed analysis of her financial dealings revealed an unsettling pattern. Small, seemingly insignificant transactions that, when viewed as a whole, pointed to a concerted effort to secure control over her father's considerable assets. The evidence suggested that she had not only been aware of the deteriorating situation, but might have actively manipulated it for her own benefit. Every phone call, every financial move, and every altered legal document served as a piece of a puzzle that slowly revealed a shocking truth. A truth that threatened to upend the conventional understanding of grief and loss. In the courtroom and in whispered conversations behind closed doors, the legal battle over Anne Hackman's estate began to take shape. Accusations of fraud, manipulation, and even collusion were leveled as the evidence mounted against Leslie Ann. Legal experts debated the timing of key transactions, the authenticity of the altered documents, and the veracity of her statements. The narrative that had once appeared to be a tragic, isolated incident was rapidly transforming into a complex tale of deception, greed, and premeditated betrayal. Every document scrutinized, every piece of digital evidence reviewed, only served to deepen the enigma. It was as if the entire sequence of events had been orchestrated with a chilling precision, designed to cast doubt on every assumption about what had really transpired in those final, fateful days. As the investigation reached its crescendo, the full scope of the deception began to reveal itself. The interplay of physical clues, digital data, and financial records converged into a single ominous narrative. What initially appeared as a series of unfortunate events gradually unraveled into a carefully constructed scheme, one in which the timing of every action, from the pacemaker's last beat to the covert surveillance footage, was meticulously planned. The once simple story of a Hollywood star succumbing to natural causes was now interlaced with a disturbing web of financial intrigue, a systematic dismantling of a family's legacy, and a mysterious figure whose motives remained shrouded in secrecy. Each revelation was like a thread pulled from a much larger tapestry, exposing the dark undercurrents that had driven the events to their tragic climax. Even as the courtroom drama unfolded and legal verdicts were handed down, questions lingered like shadows in the aftermath. How deep did the conspiracy go? Were the anomalies in the financial records and legal documents merely the tip of an iceberg that extended into the highest echelons of power and privilege? And most haunting of all, could it be that the true mastermind behind these events had been hiding in plain sight all along? The unanswered questions gave rise to a new level of intrigue, a mystery that refused to be neatly tied up by a verdict or a final statement. Instead, it left behind a trail of speculation, a narrative that demanded to be explored further and questioned at every turn. Even as the legal gavel fell and the courtroom drama reached its denouement, the mystery refused to fade away. The secrets hidden within the walls of that long-abandoned home, the digital echoes of surveillance cameras, and the whispered suspicions of financial tampering all combined to leave one final burning question in the minds of those left behind. What really happened in those final, fateful moments? The answer may never be fully known, but the echoes of that tragic day continue to resonate. Every piece of evidence, every carefully recorded data point, and every altered document serves as a reminder that sometimes the truth is far more complex and far more disturbing than it first appears. As you watch and listen, consider this. Could the truth be hidden in the spaces between the obvious facts? In the silent pauses of a life cut short? It's a mystery that beckons you to look closer, to question what you see, and to engage with the story long after the screen goes dark. So, what do you think really happened in those final moments? Was it an unforeseen twist of fate, or a meticulously planned betrayal that went all too far? Share your thoughts, theories, and questions in the comments below. And if this mystery has piqued your curiosity, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to join us as we unravel more of the secrets hidden in plain sight. Because in a world where nothing is ever truly as it seems, every detail matters and every mystery begs for an explanation.